Okay, let's see. Contacts. List contacts. Yes. Okay. Hi, Rusty.
Yes.
How are you? It's Chris Sebastian.
I'm
Hello?
sorry?
How are you?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, how are you?
Who is this?
This is Chris Sebastian.
Okay.
How are you?
Just got home from work 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm 4 hours ahead of you, so I'm glad I caught you. Listen, Rusty, I've got a little something I would like to ask a favor of you.
Uh-huh.
Mom, as you will know, has had a heart attack.
Yes?
And she is not mobile. And I am far away in Washington, as you know, D.C. And I have a court matter that is ignoring property that went to government. You remember the proof of principle that you acknowledged for DARPA, and the note that you sent that said when they tried this once before. You recall all that?
Well, I remember some of it, yes.
Okay, so in any case, Lynn knows a lawyer named Sims who is ignoring the first step in any court procedure, which is net worth finding. And the reason he's ignoring it is because it goes back to the intellectual property, the anti-terror system that went to DARPA, the note of which you wrote and signed. You do recall that?
All I remember is doing a drawing for you. And it was about a plane with some kind of radar system or something.
Yeah, and then you wrote a note to the people at the Nut House. You recall that?
I know, actually.
I can read it to you. It was sent from the Department of Physics, and it was when I was at the Nut House, and as I said, I can read it to you, but that's not the real point. You don't recall sending a note that I had asked you to send to the social worker when I was in Springfield Hospital Center?
No, not really.
What do you mean, not really?
I don't.
Okay, well, Rusty, I'm going to send you an email with it, and I will ask you to, again, verify that that is your signature and is your email. But that's not really why I called you. I called you because if people continue to ignore net worth finding and property that went to government, I'm being threatened with poisoning because people are lying in court, inclusive of the first step, which is to look at property that you own. And as you do know, that stuff went to DARPA. You even signed a letter saying so. We can verify your signature if need be. But the reason I called is because if I am disappeared, there's a house full of property, inclusive of, you do recall, the artwork that I was drawing and so on when my father died?
Well, I remember you doing a lot of artwork,
And you recall the rolls of artwork I showed you?
Yeah, well, I looked at them briefly, yes.
So you recall that much anyway. That's good. Though it happened later. It wasn't that much later. By a few years, I guess. Anyway, there's property here that people will not want to look at. And we're talking about tangible property. And I have a daughter, as you know.
Yes.
And I don't want, again, all my property destroyed and shattered like the printing company. You recall I had a printing company once?
Yeah, I remember that you printed.
I'm amazed that you don't recall the note that you sent, but I will send it to you. Can I get your email address?
Okay, it's Rooster1357.
I'm sorry, it's Rooster?
Rooster1357
1357
at gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Right.
Now, I'm going into court tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I've been showing the court your fax that you sent to Springfield Hospital Center. And if you give me 1 minute, we're going to PROF, enter, and you sent it from fax number 510-643-8497, Physics Department, University of California, Berkeley, August 30th, 2000. It's not showing right here. Hold on, I've got to move it over. 2005, and you wrote, and tell me if you recall this after I've read it to you. To whom it may concern, my name is Rusty Orr. I have a master's degree in electrical engineering. I work at the Department of Physics at the University of California in Berkeley. Several years ago, I briefly looked over his plane anti-terror system that I am told passed DARPA in 2002. More recently, I spoke with Mr. Sebastian about his U.S. OPEC system. I can testify that the physics and his project theories are basically sound as far as I know, and that the various component technologies are currently available and on the market for project assembly. This applies to the anti-terror system and U.S. OPEC system 1, 2, and 3. Russell, and then in parentheses, Rusty, K, or I guess it's a K or an R, I'm not looking at it. Work phone 510-642-8128 with your signature. That's your phone number?
It was then.
It was then, okay. And then underneath you have, this was not an in-depth review, as a general overall review. I was emailed a document to read about his plane anti-terror system, which I apparently do not have on my computer any longer. I drew for Chris a picture of his anti-terror system as it seemed to be presented. The U.S. OPEC system deals with sun tracking parabolic mirror focused on boiler system, steam engine with alternator, which generates electricity and allows for hydrogen separation. A network of facilities of this sort could provide distribution power for large regions. For this concept, I received no documents to read, blah, 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 blah. You recall any of that?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, that's much better, kind of vaguely, because it's my ass when I'm putting stuff like that in court. And people, you know, are ignoring net worth and trying to poison while ignoring doctors saying that it looks like I have property. You know, I'm in a double jeopardy situation currently right now.
What is you keep saying poison, what does that mean?
I'm sorry?
Well, you used the word several times, poison. What does that mean?
Well, people are trying to do another, oh, he's a nut because he's saying that he has stuff the government took. And already I've got the strength from the last time, 2005 to 2007, in the end saying, looks like there's property, should be adjudicated in civil and criminal, state and federal court, but they're ignoring those people's signatures too. as well as yours, on this document, which I have kept faithfully for a very long time, because I'm still waiting for settlement. Mind you, your brother never wrote the same letter that you did, and he should have, because he's got a lot more voice. And the crap would have never happened if he had, but that's another story. Right now, I'd like to know that you are prepared. If I'm disappeared, and mind you, the last time they denied habeas corpus, they assaulted me 40 times with drop-dead drugs before they were forced to acknowledge that there was property, which they also called delusional until it came out on the market. But, you know, when people denying habeas corpus, denying jury, lying in court, ignoring other people's signatures, there's a problem. And Lynn is aware of that problem. He's met Sims, the lawyer, who is forgetting about all this stuff that went to government. Yet I've got his motion to suppress evidence that says government got stuff and that I was seized illegally. But nobody wants to take care of, you know, remedy for being seized illegally, for property being stolen, etc. Now you're getting a picture?
Well, when you go to court tomorrow, what is it about?
It's over a misdemeanor, and I am introducing net worth evidence, which I have to by law. And they're saying I'm a nut because I'm introducing net worth evidence, which I have to by law. I'm also introducing impeachment evidence. If government's lied before and they're doing it again, and I've got them nailed again, but we're talking about when people try and drug you through lies. And that's why I'm calling you. Because if people are going to disappear me because we have nothing but graft and corruption here, somebody needs to close this house down and hold on to whatever property's inside so that my daughter isn't another victim of Nazism or Obama communism. I don't give a flying fuck what it really is. It's graft and corruption, and there's no big difference between Robert Barron's on the right, Bush, and Obama on the left. The point here is, though, that I'm introducing evidence in court and nobody's wanting to look at it. And as a result, I'm taping everything, including this conversation.
That's good. Well, I know.
Well, I will or won't use it. If I don't have your permission, I won't use it. How's that? Because you did write the one letter that saved my life back then, and made people have to say, well, you know, somebody knows about property and would better be careful. That's where we are. Anyway, will you tell me that if I'm disappeared, and will you keep track, that you will come and close the house down? There is nobody else.
Well, I don't want to make any promises that I can't uphold. I don't know.
Well, then just lock it up and take an inventory. Nobody wants to do any inventory either. Well, I'll talk to you, Rusty. I've got enough of this on my plate right now, okay?
What?
Please consider it.
I couldn't understand what you said.
I said, I've got enough on my plate right now. Please consider it. I do have a daughter to think of.
Well, let me...
And there are such things as rights and inheritance rights and remedy rights, and when property is stolen, property is supposed to be returned. Your brother should know about that. He's got a book copyrighted. I got more than that. I'll talk to you, Rusty. Please take care of my mom as best as possible. Find a way to close down the house if I've disappeared. They're going to have a hard time doing it. I've got this shit all over Facebook.
Well, I think that we could, if for some reason you disappear or whatever, I don't think you will, but if you do, then I don't think any of that stuff will be thrown away.
I'm sorry? I did.
Be gathered up, and I guess at some point it will be given to Katrina, or who? I guess probably her.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to have my brains turned into goo and being turned into a twitching, drooling fool because people don't want to look at property that they stole. But yeah, I've also got to think about my daughter, and it's nice that you have her in your mind too. I'll talk to you, Rusty.
Plan to go to court tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to go to court tomorrow. It's an unconstitutional court. They've been cheating all along. I don't know why the fuck I should. But, you know, it's either go and face them there and with all the evidence, or give them a little more grounds to try and call me a nut. Of course, I do have the right to protect myself, and I'm crazy to be going there tomorrow when they've done all the shit they've done and they're not acknowledging. I've got this stuff in appeals court, and they've already cheated there too. But it's all very documented, and Rusty, look, because your name's all over this stuff. They'll be calling you. If I go postal or anybody gets hurt, they'll be looking at this as attempted murder, and they'll be calling and finding out why. Why people didn't speak up. Why they didn't look at Rusty Orr's telephone number. Why they didn't call. You know, they can't even drug me, Rusty, if they call you. And I get that into court tomorrow. I got lawyers who won't even call you to find out that stuff went to DARPA. You know. Right. They'd rather poison and force violence than pick up a phone and call, just like I'm doing right now. I'll talk to you.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck.
Thanks so much. Keep track, Rusty. You are the only family I've got right now other than my daughter. My mom's not competent and incapacitated, so, you know, you're what I've got. Sorry to bring you this nightmare. If ever I succeed in attaining my rights, that letter of yours is priceless to me, and you will know it.
Try not to lose your cool tomorrow. Yeah, really.
You know, it's called torture, my friend. It's not easy. I keep my language, like I said to your brother the other day, don't you worry about my tone. You worry about the content of my words. No. I've got a real problem with your brother right now. I'm sorry about it, but he should have done what you've done all along. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. 1 6 5 0 8 5 3 3 0 6 6.
You've reached the phone of Susan and Lynn Orr at 853-3066. If you wish to leave them a message or Ali Cox, please do so after the tone and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
No, that's worthless.